Guess what? Did you know that being resignated, is confirmation that you are complacent, which also probably means you're depressed, which also just means that you have shut down. Why? Why have you shut down? What has caused you so much pain, hurt, that inside you have basically said, I'm done. I believe that you're not done. I believe that if you want to get started and redefine your life, you can do it, and you can do it here, and you can do it now. You do not have to stay in that state of being. But you do need to ask yourself and figure out for yourself, what is the root of your pain? And it's usually not what happened last week, last year, last month. This shit goes way, way, way back to your childhood. These are the things that we've been carrying around for the majority of our lives. And a lot of times we've suppressed them so deep down into our soul that we have really stopped even acknowledging that this stuff is present in our bodies, but it is. It is present in your body. And it is causing you a lot of issues. It's messing with your mental health. It's messing with your emotional health. It's messing with your spiritual health, your physical health, your sexual health, your financial health. And what it takes for most people is to hit like a rock bottom. Unfortunately, most people, even when you hit the rock bottom, it doesn't actually stick long lasting. I've been thinking a lot about self-improvement. It is phase 2 of the Results Kill Excuses 1% journal, which I highly encourage you to invest in. Invest in yourself. Yes, it does support this message, and that is obviously greatly appreciated, but it's like nothing else on this planet. And journaling is a part of every single top 5 ways to improve your life. Journaling, it's so essential if you really mean business. And there's 2 types of self-improvers that I've been reading about. One is the junkie, right? The self-improvement junkie. And 2 is the self-improvement tourist. And I've experienced both. Even very recently, where I've seen people that just go from one thing to the next, to one thing, fear of missing out, right? Always just the next thing. It's just like, I was helping someone recently, and I could just tell, this person just has an addiction to treatment, to recovery, to groups, to trying every single new thing that shows up. And I don't know where's the growth, where's the difference, how is it helping? But I just know that I could sense a compulsion to try every single thing out, but maybe not stick with anything long term. And then the second way is to be like a tourist, to do kind of just a drop in, fly in and fly out, right? And that usually happens after, some kind of a bad situation, right? Some kind of a really difficult situation pops up in your life and you freak out. You're like, oh, fuck, I gotta get this right. And so it does stimulate you to make some changes. But the changes are instituted by you to bring about the quickest relief in the quickest amount of time. And it's not necessarily with a vision to say, I want long lasting relief. I want to get to the root of the problem. And so I think the third way of approaching this whole thing called self-improvement, self-development, personal growth is about 1% better every day. And I think when you stretch it out beyond the horizon in terms of saying, every single day, part of the 1% better journal, the thing that I love about it the most is every single day you have to focus on 3 to 4 things that you did good or right yesterday. That's really challenging for most people. It's challenging for me. And then secondly, focusing on 3 to 4 things that you can do better today. And that's just like such a level of personal accountability, of honesty, clarity, transparency with yourself. This is about a conversation with yourself, which is all that matters. Because right now, I can almost guarantee you the conversation that you are having with yourself is probably not that encouraging, is probably not that filled with inspiration. If you were to literally write down everything that you think throughout a day, would you really want to listen to yourself if you had a choice? Most of us, it's like, no. We're our own worst enemies, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Right? And it does all start in the mind, the thoughts. And that's one of the major areas of self-improvement, is to shift your thoughts. And it takes a relentless attitude. And that's why it's like, you gotta kind of be a little bit of a junkie type, but not to an extreme, because it's important to lock in for the long haul, right? Life on life's terms from here on out. But but here's the thing, and that's why we have results kill excuses, is because there's a lot of people that do a lot of things and don't really get anywhere. Are you one of those people that you do a lot of shit, but do you really have results? It's like I say, a lot of people, you probably busted your fucking ass last year. You probably busted your ass this first month of this year. What do you have to show for it? What do you have to show for it? More freedom, more abundance, more opportunity, more prosperity, more health. What do you have to show for all the hard work? And you think somehow something's going to change because someone else is in office or their political wins, this and that? I highly doubt it. And I don't even get political. I'm done. I don't care about that shit. My focus is on what do I have control over, and I have control over what's going on inside of me. There's the fucking demarcation line. You only have control of what's going on inside of you, and most of you are so externally focused on things you don't have control over, you have lost complete focus on what you even do have control over. You've totally neglected the one thing you do have control over, which is your mind. You have allowed your mind to run the fucking show. And like I said, if you were to write down everything you think, holy shit, could you imagine? Could you imagine? And the reason why I can connect with that is because, I still have a lot of negativity that surfaces. A lot of doubt, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. It surfaces, but it don't stick. I check it as fast as I can, man. It comes up, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I start going into my own little meditative state of repeating positive affirmations, right? The things that matter to me. I do it subconsciously. I do it when I'm half asleep. Whenever I'm starting to think negativity, I literally have programmed myself to do that. And so I know that if I'm on this path, right, practicing what the fuck I preach, right, out here in the dirt, grounding, centering, breathing, connecting with nature, living a sober lifestyle, listening to positive affirmations throughout the day, doing really powerful breathwork exercises every day. I've committed. I came across some new breathwork exercises that I'm going to be sharing with this community soon. But I made a commitment. When was the last time you made a commitment and stuck with it? I recently came across a spiritual teacher for myself. I didn't even come across it. He appeared. And I'm just so grateful. And in that, I've been guided to do these new breathwork exercises. And it's intense. It's fucking intense, man. I've even had dreams about these exercises and some of the effects on the body before I even started these. But here's what I'm trying to get to in terms of a point. I committed to doing these exercises for the next 90 days before I do a workshop with this guy. Every day. And there's been a few days that I've been like, well, I don't know if I can really squeeze it in. And I said, no, I'm going to make it a party because I said I was going to do it. Committed. I'm committed to doing it. I made a commitment to myself. When was the last time that you made a commitment and you stuck it fucking out? If you're someone that is lacking self-accountability, I'm not just saying this for my own benefit, but I'm telling you that 1% Better Everyday Journal is going to give you an opportunity to do just that. Commit to yourself to show up every single day. Start your day with an attitude of gratitude, positive affirmations, right? Holding yourself accountable from what happened yesterday. What could you do better today? Things that matter to you. And also starting to do some self-discovery, self-improvement work along that journey. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Make that investment in yourself. Make a commitment to yourself. It's literally 91 days of commitment that you're going to create a morning routine that puts you first. It starts there. And yeah, you do got to have a bit of an obsession with wanting to improve. Wanting to leave your past behind, all the guilt, all the shame, all the mistakes, and do the work. And the thing is you have the power to do it. You have the power. You know you have the power. You're just stuck on being distracted. You're stuck on doing things that are easy, that really are not so easy for your overall quality of life. When you consistently stay complacent, don't really make shit happen, you're just watching, waiting, and wishing for things to happen, fuck. That's a hard life, man. It's a hard life. So is healing. But I can tell you that one of those lives, you're literally just sitting there in a state of resignation. You've just given up, but you're existing. And yeah, maybe you're still going through the motions. Maybe you're still doing a decent job at work. Maybe you do a great job at work. But where are you in terms of inside yourself? How fulfilled are you? What does that come out to? Are you fulfilled in life? Or are you literally just resignating yourself to your fucking miserable existence? It's time to have that conversation. We've been having that conversation here. I refused to live in silence and suffering anymore. And it did take me hitting a fucking way too many rock bottoms. More than one. For me to turn my life around. But I stuck it out because I made a commitment. I said, I can never feel like this again. And I can never do what I had done to people I loved. Again, not in my right mind, not in the right spirit, right? Knowing how that left me feeling, fuck. And I'm still growing, right? Emotional intelligence, emotional literacy. That's really at the root of what we're talking about here at Results Kill Excuses, is how do you improve your emotional literacy? It's first off really studying out the emotional wheel, knowing that it's more than just happy, mad, angry, sad, that there's more to it. You're more complex than that. There are some deeper levels. And the studies show, and you can try it for yourself. When you become more self-aware, your mood shifts, you realize what your triggers are, you start to give more attention to your patterns, your unhealthy patterns. And instead of going to that quick relief, that escape route, you sit there in the emotion and you name it. When you name it, you allow it to be seen and heard, right? To be felt. And you realize that, you know what? It's part of your humanity. It's part of your humanity to feel those emotions. And as you start to feel them, it's just like anything. It's a muscle. It grows, it strengthens. Your emotional vocabulary will strengthen. Your emotional intelligence will strengthen. And as you strengthen your emotions and understanding of who you are emotionally, because it's usually not like such a mystery. If you really start putting in some time and effort to think about your emotions, to give attention to your emotions, that's where it starts. Just all you gotta do is give it some attention, create some awareness and acknowledge, and then get to understanding, where does this really come from? What's the root of it? But it's really not, it doesn't overwhelm you in the sense of like, it's such a mystery. It's not. You just have been told that it's all about dragons and demons. And it's just about feeling inadequate, feeling scared, because when you're a little kid, you experienced tons of violence and fucking physical and verbal and emotional abuse that you never felt safe. You're just a little kid, right? Or maybe, there's just all kinds of shit that it's happened 0 to 10 years old. This is when this stuff gets dropped into us. And part of your humanity as an adult is to disconnect from the distractions. Maybe forever, maybe for a season, maybe for a year. You figure it out. The truth of the matter is, there's nothing wrong with you. Which that's going to sound contrary, right? Because you're like, wait, this guy's saying everything's wrong with me, man. I'm not doing any of this stuff right. No. The thing is nothing is wrong with you in and of itself. Everything that has happened, everything that you are, is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Now, here's the kicker. This is what stops me in my tracks. Are you going to accept more of the same from this point forward? Or do you want to write the most incredible story ever told from this point forward? You can't change the past. Remember, you can't change what's outside of you. You can only change what's inside of you. Just like you can't change the past, you can redefine it, but you can write how the story ends. You can write more of the same. You can write a mediocre, okay story, meh. Or you can write the most incredible story ever told. And I know that in my circumstances, my story has evolved into the most incredible story ever told. I believe in it. I don't have to figure out how, neither do you. It's not about how does it become that way. It's just realizing that you start to tap in to the desires and the truth and the vision within your soul. This is soul searching. And there's something in there. It's been covered. It's been covered in dust. It's kind of like if you had a mirror that was in a shed, and it's just like covered in dust, there's even some tarps on it, but it's just dusty. And it's like, it's still a mirror, but it's just covered up. So you just gotta uncover it, dust it off, clean it up, Windex it, clean it, spray it down, whatever you need to do to clean that mirror. And that's what's going on inside of you. It's time to clean house. And that's the soul searching, because as you start to do that, it's like decluttering. When was the last time you decluttered a space in your home? If it's been a little while, I highly recommend that you take some time in the new year, right, to declutter some spaces. Could be your car, could be your closet, right? Anytime you do that, usually you instantly feel lighter. You feel more like it clears the energy, the atmosphere. It's just fresher. Now, what's the difference between what's going on inside of you? It's the same. It's the same. And yet there is a vision, there is a dream inside of you. And maybe it's just been so buried and covered and forgotten because of life circumstances. But there's not an accident that you're hearing this message. There's not an accident that you know that you have an opportunity to turn everything around. But it's your choice. You get to choose. You get to choose if this year from start to finish is going to be a duplicate of last year. Well, if last year was just a motherfucking winning year, like most incredible year of your life last year, I can guarantee you, if you're a winner, you know that doing everything you did last year is not going to guarantee you winning this year. Did you hear that? Winners know this. Winners know this over consistency over time. You look at any winners, whether in business, in sports, in life, any arena. If you're talking to somebody that's a true winner over an extended period of time, years upon years, decades, they're not going to say, I just kept doing the same thing over and over again. No. You have to continuously progress and improve 1% better every day. But if you're somebody that's on the sideline, right, you think that they're doing the same thing because they're wearing the same uniforms, or maybe they switched the uniforms, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes to keep those athletes and those performers and people at the highest level. And that's what it really takes you and me as well. It takes you continuously saying, I'm going to take well thought out, strategized risks in life that challenge me, that get me out of my comfort zone. What risks are you going to take this year that maybe you didn't fucking take last year, that you were afraid because you were afraid to take it? But again, if you think you're going to do the same thing, and you got to look at your habits, and and that's really fucking uncomfortable, ain't it? It's so uncomfortable to look at your own habits, to hold yourself accountable, right? This is holding yourself accountable. I know that we always want to put it in, I don't want to judge myself or criticize. It's just accountability. Man, if all you love to do is watch sports, and your year went by and you worked your ass off and you got nothing really positive to show for it, then I'm here to tell you, man, you got to try some new shit. That's really one of the key ingredients, is trying new things every day, every week, every month. Try new things, and don't just try it once. Try it for consistently. Stick with it. Try and hold your focus on something and really see it through. That's what it's all about. That's what's going to get you the long-lasting results. If you're just looking for quick fixes, carry on. Keep doing what you've been doing. I'm here to inspire you to do more, to do new things, to truly invest in yourself, to go all in on yourself right here, right now, this year, knowing that you can't do the same shit. And you can't just do something for a minute. See it through from here till the end. Really start to take some calculated risks on your life. Make some major shifts in your life, and guaranteed, you invest in yourself, guess what? That investment comes back multiplied infinitely. You can't even put a number on how big the return on your investment is, because that is the greatest investment, the one you make in yourself. Right? When will you take action? When will you lock in? When will you truly give yourself permission to do life on life's terms? I hope today's the day. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.